the resilience to climate change of communities and increase water in the upper Athi River catchment area. The total project cost is around 9.9 million USD. Out of this, the Green Climate Fund is giving us a grant of 9.5 million USD, and the rest of the money is coming from co-financing from the three executing entities. That's NEMA, Water Resources Authority, and Kenya Metrological Department. The beneficiaries, about 1.2 million direct and about 4.8 million indirect beneficiaries, and the project duration is 4 years. In terms of the project location, the focus is on the Athi River catchment, and one of the things that we notice that in this catchment, it has a negative water balance, which means the demand for water far outweighs what the available water resources, and is one of the least water secure among the 6 catchments that we have in the country. And the key issues that we are going to focus on, which are the drivers of this particular situation, is the issue of climate change, pollution, increased water demand, and then the catchment degradation. So the project will try to be part of the solution towards addressing those key drivers. And we are targeting only 4 counties from Nyandarua, Kiambu, Nairobi, and Machakos. And these are just the upper counties in the catchment. The catchment has a total of 12 counties. So we hope that in the future we can be able to raise resources to also address the remaining counties. There are 3 accredited entities, and NEMA. There are 3 executing entities. NEMA serves as both an accredited entity and also the executing entity. As an accredited entity, we are in charge of grant management and responsible for the overall management of the project and accountability to the Green Climate Fund. But we also have some executing roles in terms of pollution management, adaptation planning, water infrastructure, and also capacity building. The Water Resources Authority is in charge of hydrological monitoring in the catchment, water quality, catchment protection, and water infrastructure. And the Kenya Metrological Department will be dealing with meteorological monitoring, the catchment, and climate services. The project has 3 components. Component 1 deals with enhancing hydrological and meteorological monitoring system to improve decision-making, planning, and policy development. Component 2 deals with improving climate water resilience, and this is the component that carries the biggest budget. And then component 3 deals with strengthening water and adaptation planning, institutional and regulatory frameworks. The last slide deals with some of the expected deliverables that we are looking forward to achieve during the life of the project. In terms of water security, we will be doing infrastructure, as you can see there, rehabilitation of 5 boreholes. We are drilling 3 new boreholes. We are rehabilitating 23 water pans. We are constructing a new water pan, 1 sand dam. We are going to do rainwater harvesting structures in 80 health facilities, level 2 and level 3 facilities in Machakos. We are developing 5 new springs and rehabilitating 5 springs. In terms of conservation, the project is going to support communities through the Water Resource Users Association to do rehabilitation and reforestation in the catchment. When it comes to hydrological monitoring, the project will support the installation of 25 automatic weather stations and also develop 10 underground water monitoring stations to monitor the obstruction of the groundwater, which is becoming a big issue. In terms of integrated water resource management, the project is going to support NEMA and WRA to upgrade their water quality testing laboratories. And those laboratories are going to help us to enhance compliance and enforcement of water quality regulations and generally pollution control in the catchment. Then lastly, planning and regulatory frameworks. The project is going to support the 4 counties to develop regulatory frameworks, the 4 county environment action plans, sub-catchment management plans, and state of environment reports. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John. Let's appreciate John once again. Your Excellency, some people in Kenya call us NEMA instead of NEMA, National Environment Management Authority. And NEMA means grace. So you need grace to manage environment in our country, because as NEMA, we have two main mandates. One is general supervision and coordination of all matters environment in our country. Your Excellency, when you say all matters environment, it essentially means God's creation. So NEMA is in charge of all this: land, air, water, soil, everything. And then looking at the way Kenyans are littering the environment and having very negative attitude to the environment, we may need a divine intervention, because this is really a divine duty, a divine responsibility for us to be able to manage environment in our country. Government has provided necessary policy, legal, and institutional framework for environmental governance in our country. If you look at our constitution, it's a green constitution, very progressive constitution in the region. Because from the preambles of our constitution, if you look at the first preamble, it's acknowledging God, the presence of Almighty God. Second is honoring our freedom fighters. The third, Your Excellency, is on our diversity, ethnic diversity, religious diversity, and cultural diversity, one indivisible nation. The fourth, Your Excellency, is on the environment, respectful of our environment, which is our priceless heritage, which must be preserved for now and future generations. But looking at the way the environment is managed, it's a big challenge. We have, as NEMA, last year enacted over 10 regulations looking at Waste Management Act 2022, essentially transitioning us from linear waste management to circular model of waste management, where we need to drive value out of this waste, because waste is a resource. Looking at also the EPR regulation, extended producer responsibility, where we bestow responsibility on the producers, the brand owners of the product that you introduce into our country, because essentially any product coming into our country will become waste. So as a regulator, it is our duty to ensure that we manage this waste. So, Your Excellency, this project, funded by Green Climate Fund, will go a long way in improving water security and building the adaptive capacity of our local communities to be able to manage that existential threat of climate change. The prolonged drought, because if you look at this catchment as presented by John, this area is prone to drought and also paradoxically to flooding. So you have drought in Machakos and these other areas, and then flooding in Nairobi and Kiambu areas. So the prolonged drought in Machakos, frequent flooding in Nairobi and Kiambu, and escalating water scarcity and declining water quality across the region are clear indicators of a crisis that we face in our country. These challenges, Your Excellency, disproportionately affect women and children who are forced to spend countless hours each day searching for water. This is the first project approved for Kenya that we've received USD 9.5 under the direct access modality. NEMA being the national implementing entity under direct access, the 9th globally and the 5th in Africa. So we received for the first time close to 1 billion Kenya shilling to be able to manage this project. As an accredited entity to the Green Climate Fund and the leading implementing agency, NEMA is proud to champion this project, and we are committed, Excellency, to ensure transparent management, effective coordination, and robust monitoring of all activities under this project. And beyond the 4 years, because this is a 4-year project, we are determined to integrate the lessons learned from this project into our NEMA programs to guarantee long-term sustainability of this project. Because most projects, after the term, then it becomes the dead end. So we are going to ensure that sustainability of this project is ensured. The project as presented will be implemented in partnership with the Kenya Metrological Department and also the Water Resource Authority, working closely with the 4 county government. And the objective is very clear, as highlighted, is to strengthen the resilience of communities to climate change and to increase water security in the Upper Athi River catchment over the next 4 years. And this project will directly benefit over 1.1 million people and indirectly touch nearly 4.8 million people. It will reduce vulnerability of floodings and drought and improve access to clean water, enhance food and nutrition security, and build the adaptive capacity of institutions and the local communities. How do we intend to do this? The project will achieve this through 3 pillars, Your Excellency. 1, because we need to make decision in ensuring that we strengthen our early warning system, we will enhance hydrological and metrological monitoring system to improve our decision making. 2, we need to invest in climate resilient water infrastructure, including rehabilitation and construction of water ponds, boreholes, sand dams, and other facilities to ensure reliable water supply, even in times of scarcity. 3rd, Your Excellency, we will strengthen water and adaptive planning by supporting institutions and regulatory frameworks that will ensure sustainable management of our water resources. I want to take this moment, Your Excellency, to call upon our county government, institutions, grassroots institutions, and communities to fully embrace this project and own it, because this is community-inspired project, community-owned project, and community-driven project. Communities are at the center of this project. And the success, Your Excellency, of this initiative will depend on the active participation and ownership of our communities to ensure that the water infrastructure is not only utilized, but also maintained for future generations. We must also ensure that women and youth are meaningfully included in the water governance, as their voices and leadership are central to building resilience. Allow me to extend our deepest appreciation to the Green Climate Fund for approving this grand project for our country. I also wish to recognize in a very special way the strong support and commitment of our National Treasury. National Treasury is the designated authority and the national focal point of GCF. Your Excellency, I also acknowledge and appreciate immense support that management received from NEMA Board of Management through the Chair, Mr. Emilio Mugo, and the board members, and also not forgetting my parent ministry, Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, under the leadership of CS Deborah Baraza, supported by PS Dr. Engineer Ngeno, for all the support and guidance. And to our executing partners, the Water Resource Authority, the Kenya Metrological Department, and the Ministry of Water, Sanitation, and County Government, and the communities, this project is true demonstration of partnership in action. Last but not least, I also wish to acknowledge the technical support that NEMA, WRA, and KMD received from the government of Korea through KET during the design of this project. They also undertook feasibility studies, detailed designs, and environmental and social impact assessments, and also gender studies for this project. I acknowledge the technical support that the design team received also from ICPAC on hydrometeorological monitoring. In closing, I wish to reaffirm NEMA's unwavering commitment to building climate resilience for our people. Your Excellency, I'm confident that this project will serve as a model for climate resilient management, not only in our country, but across Africa. Together, we can turn the challenge of climate change into an opportunity for sustainable growth and shared responsibility. Because in NEMA we say, this is our environment, it is our life, and our individual and collective responsibility. I thank you. Thank you. Let me now invite the CEOs of executing entities, starting with Mr. Edward Miruki, the Acting Director for Kenya Metrological Services, to say a few words. Let's appreciate him.
Thank you, Chief Guest, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Your Excellency, CS, PS, Excellence, Governors, all protocols observed. My name is Edward Muriuki, Acting Director, Kenya Meteorological Department. And as a department, we are privileged to be one of the implementing entities. We've been waiting for this moment for long, and we are glad that it has finally happened. And I'm glad to report that through this project, the department will enhance its monitoring and observation capabilities. And this, in turn, will be able to support provision of climate services in the provisional, in the project counties, and also building resilience in the 4 project counties. So mine is just to look forward to the full execution of this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miruki. Now I invite Mr. Mohamed Shurie, the CEO, Water Resources Authority. Karibu, Bwana CEO.
Your Excellency, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Secretary, Cabinet Secretary, Secretaries, Governors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my name is, as we said, Mohamed Molishu, with the NEMA in this project. The launch of this Athi River Catchment Climate Resilient Water Security Project marks an important step in advancing Kenyan long-term water security and climate resilient agenda. The Athi catchment encompasses Nairobi, Kiambu, Machakos, and the Nyandarua counties, underpin key pillars of our economic, including urban development, agriculture, industry, and infrastructure. Yet the basin is increasingly vulnerable to the climate variability. Recurrent drought, flooding, groundwater decline, and the catchment degradation. Groundwater and the catchment degradation. These pressures threaten not only water supply, but also national economic stability and the social well-being. This project aligns directly with the key Kenyan development agenda demonstrating government commitment to strengthen climate-informing water governance and strengthening strategic natural resources. The project is integrated and forward-looking. It is strengthening hydrogeological, hydrometeorological, and it is enhancing climate resilient water infrastructure to stabilize supply and reduce vulnerability. It reinforces institutional coordination and devolution to ensure sustainability and accountability. Importantly, sustainable water security extends beyond infrastructure. Wetland riparian reserves and the groundwater recharge zones within the Upper Athi catchment are natural capital assets. They regulate flows, mitigate floods, recharge aquifers, and safeguard water quality. Degradation of this ecosystem directly undermines economic productivity and public health. We must therefore reaffirm a simple but fundamental principles. Protecting our catchment is therefore not mere as an environmental responsibility, it is also a strategic economic imperative. Your Excellency, water does not come from the tap. Water comes from the catchment. So there's need for all of us, all Kenyans, to see how best that we can catchments. WRA has demonstrated institutional readiness for the project implementation with planning frameworks in place designed initiated. This reflects the WRS commitment to moving from boardroom to execution of the project. During the project implementation, we will strengthen collaboration with the beneficiary counties, water resources, user associations, and the local communities to ensure not only successful execution, but also water resources governance remain science-based, transparent, future-oriented, and sustainable. Let us remain steadfast in our collective responsibility to protect our catchment, strengthen our institutions, and safeguard water as a strategic national development asset for the
Thank you very much, the CEO Water Resource Authority. In NEMA, because we are still enforcing noise and excessive violation, we need to collapse. So let's appreciate our colleagues with soundless clap, and I will check you. You do this. This again. Then you drop. There is sound there. Thank you. Your Excellency, we work very closely with county governments to ensure that we robustly engage with our communities through the county governments and ensure that what we implement are sustainable in the long run. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome the County Environment Committee member for Kiambu, my friend Mr. Kuria, to come and make his remarks on behalf of the Kiambu County government. Karibu Bwana Waziri.
Thank you so much. Your Excellency, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Cabinet Secretary, Your Excellency, Governor of Nyandarua, PS Principal Secretary, Bona Dr. Ngeno, Chair, NEMA, and all the invited guests. Hamujaboni come from this catchment, and therefore we are very, very excited to be part and parcel of this program. In fact, it also our source in terms of the founder, wood and all that for Kiambu County. And therefore, whatever is being done in Kiambu County, we are excited and we are happy. And I'm also happy to say that we have been in this process. I started this process actually before I joined the county. I knew this program when it was with even Kenya Wildlife Services. I have been walking through. Little did I know that I'm going to be part of now implementing, and that's how God works. And I'm happy again that we are having this consultative forum to discuss. My request, because I've been in this process, is to first appreciate that each of the government levels, we have something to contribute as beneficiary and as implemented. We have worked with NEMA, and I'm happy to say that NEMA, we have worked with you. You have taken and through. I have a request to WRA. What NEMA is doing to us, can you also do it? MD also, can you come and train us in terms of what you're supposed to do? Because we're supposed to have a consultation that we need to understand each other. At times, guest of honor, counties are now teenagers. They have grown. So we need now to start coming to that effect to understand that we have something to say. And we can be able to work together so that this project can be fully implemented. My friend PS here was my boss. He was my chair because he was also a CC like me, but he has graduated. I used to be his deputy. So he knows what we have fought. And therefore, we need to also have these conversations so that we can be able to address some of these challenges. I have a few concerns, though, that I need to raise. First, and I thank NEMA, you have come for us to prioritize. You have agreed that we are going to also to provide supervision. We have been in many projects where county are being told, and we have a lot of conditionalities. Sometimes some of the conditionalities, they don't favor the county. And our boss here, His Excellency, they want CC to perform. But sometimes we have conditionalities, which we need to address as early as possible. We have another program that, again, Doctor, you know, we have a lot of conditionalities, and we are not telling the truth there to the donors. Like the FROCA, which I want to mention, they had a lot of conditionality. My boss here wants me to to be effective, but you give a lot of conditionality. I hope this project will not have that conditionality. We have time frame. His Excellency, they have the manifesto. We want also to be part, that manifesto to be implemented to the fullest during the governor's time. Can we also reduce bureaucracy? Because sometimes there's a lot of bureaucracy. Let us reduce the bureaucracy, because people in Kiambu, in Nyandarua, in Machakos, in here, they need services. If we can be able to implement this project timely, and we remove the bureaucracy. And also, can we also use can we have the what I would call, we reduce a lot of administrations and all that. Let us use the money, because Wajiko there need money. Sometimes we put a lot of, administrations and all that. To an extent, the money that go to the Wajiko is quarter of what was given. Let's have a better use for money. And then let us also be consultative enough. Let us have that consultative enough. If the project is delayed, like now we are informed throughout by NEMA that it has been delayed, because Wajiko there want us to be fast in quick in implementing of all these things. But for now, I like to appreciate again NEMA that we have worked together. I have one or two requests. Your Excellency, the Chief Guest. As we sit here, I'm worried, and I'm a worried person. I read an article the other day that the groundwater for this region is also dwindling. And somebody said in a few times, Nairobi will start sinking. We have a request. Can we have this project also building out? How do we protect our groundwater? If you're saying that, a lot of requests are borehole. We can't have borehole if we don't have water. So I think we need to start having a conversation. And I think somebody should start this conversation in this country, that groundwater is dwindling. The other thing is about the pollution of our cities. I have tried to protect the 14 falls, but I have to work with the Nairobi governor. We have to work with the Nairobi governor. The source of waste, that's pollution, is coming all the way from Githurai. So if you don't have this consultative, we are not going to provide the water services, the water that we need. So I think we need that consultation. And finally, I'm happy that we are doing conservation. Let us also think where these water sources are coming from. That has been an issue. We are concentrated in selling water. We do not know where the water is coming from. So I think this conversation, in the second discussions, I will be happy to see this. The next GCF is addressing the issue of the sources of water and all that. Thank you so much, and God bless and thanks, Anna.
You are not good students. We said noiseless claps. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, and we give him. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Ondiri Wetland is in Kiambu County next to Alliance High School. And Ondiri is the headwaters of Nairobi rivers. Our rivers emanate from there. But as it meanders through the informal settlements, when the river leaves Ondiri, it's spotlessly clean, but as it meanders through the informal settlements, because informal settlement is not seaward, there is a lot of effluent discharge into the river.